right. Today is December 10th, 2025. And I'm looking at my TV back there. Um my poor little TV is dying. I don't know, there's a lot of electronics die in this place. Oh gosh, it's be a lot of activity happening. But anyway, so today I want to do a reading, a tarot card reading for somebody who came to visit me over a year ago. And I pulled the cards, I took pictures of the cards. I never did record what I saw in the cards though, and I don't even remember what questions I asked. Um, and so therefore, I remember the overall gist of the message, but um, yeah, it's gone now. So one random night in August 2024, I sat down and I called upon my spirit guides to invite whoever wanted to come in. That sounds so bad. But any spirits who want to come through and just speak to me or speak through me, I opened up the floor every so often. And so on this particular night in August last year, it was Eartha Kitt who came through, and she asked me to read her cards, and I thought that was kind of weird, like to have a spirit ask me to read cards for them. Usually if I read cards for a spirit, it's because I'm being nosy. It's not because they asked me to read them. But she said, allegedly, Earth Kid said that she was trying to understand some things that happened in her life during the time that she was here, right? Mainly why it was cancer that took her out. Eartha Kitt lived to be 80 years old. And I mean, that's pretty good. But it could have been better or longer, because according to what I know about Eartha Kitt, based on what I read in her daughter's book and what I've heard from her in interviews, Eartha Kitt was very healthy living. I don't know if she's vegan or not, or vegetarian, but she believed in exercise. She believed in eating her vegetables. I remember my mama had her book back in the early 2000s, I think like 2006 or 2005, 3, something like that. Eartha Kitt had put out a book talking about her healthy lifestyle as a woman of a certain age, and there were pictures of her doing yoga and stuff like that in the book. And so the spirit who came to visit me that night had asked me, why did it have to be cancer? She said she was okay with dying, it was fine. It's just, why did it have to be cancer? And so I said, well, honestly, I don't know, Miss Eartha, but I can see what I see, Again, I just thought it was funny that she would ask something like that of me, because I'm like, I feel like you would know that once you cross over to the other side. But I've also learned in these last couple of years of direct spirit communication that they don't have all the answers either. They might have a few more answers, but they don't have all the answers. So I said, well, so I pray that I'm able to do this reading so I can find out the why. If there was a spiritual or karmic or whatever reason behind her having cancer, or if it was just something that just happened, or if, I mean, I don't know extensively about Eartha Kitt. I never knew her in life. I don't know anybody, as far as I know, that's connected to her in any sort of way, you know. So I don't know if there's a family history of cancer. I don't know anything. I just know Eartha Kitt, and I grew up. I grew up with Eartha Kitt because she had a bit of a renaissance in like the late '80s and all throughout the '90s. You know, she kind of came back and did a lot of movies and TV shows and stuff during that time. And so, you know. But anyway, I pray that I can safely navigate these spiritual streets, and whatever I can see safely, I'm able to see to get an idea of what it was that caused Miss Eartha Kitt's cancer. Why did it have to be cancer that took her out? Why couldn't it have just been old age or something else? Why did it have to be cancer? So I'm going to use this Starlight Tarot deck. I felt pulled to use this one today because I don't know. I don't know if she liked the color blue. I don't know if just because it's starry, or I don't know. Whatever the case, though, we're going to see what the cards say. If I can just get a general Eartha Kitt. I'm sorry I took so long to get back to you, because like I said, this was a year ago. This was a year and however many months ago. I recorded that session and I was just watching it on my computer, and I said, let me go ahead and do this. She asked me about this a long time ago. The other part of this is that she said that she wanted to know, so that when she comes back, because she's going to come back, right? Not everybody comes back for another go round at this life thing. And regardless of what a lot of people say, oh, you know, we're just the universe experiencing itself. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to, I mean, I don't know all of that. I don't believe all of that to be true either. I just, you know, from as grounded of a perspective as you can have from reading tarot cards and being into spiritual stuff and kind of esoteric things, the baseline of it is that we are all energy, and energy just kind of circulates. It doesn't, right, it's neither created nor destroyed, right? Ain't that what they say? And so it just kind of makes sense to me that if we're all energetic beings and we're basically power, you know, we just go from one thing to the next, right? So we all come back, or some of us come back while others go and explore whatever else is out there in the cosmos. But for whatever reason, she wants to come back here, and she wants to do things differently next time, and so she needs to know what happened. Oh, okay. So I just dropped 3 cards. We're going to see what they will say. I'm talking too much. Alright, 7 of Swords, reverse, comes out first. And then the Ace of Swords, that's all mental stuff. Then the High Priestess. High Priestess. But the 7 of Swords is reversed. Like, 7 of Swords is it's like betrayal. Also, I kind of feel like this is reinforcing what I just said, or it's confirming what I just said. So it lets me know that we're on the right page, or we're on the same page. The 7 of Swords is usually a card of like betrayal, because you look at it like this guy is smiling and looking kind of sly in his smile, and he's holding on to 5 swords and looking backwards. while there's two swords in front of him, like they're hiding, like they're on the other side of this wall, right? So just like there's a lot of lies and betrayal and stuff like that. So in reverse, it's kind of like, okay, we're getting to the truth of the matter. Um, and then we got the Ace of Swords, which comes next, which is about clarity and clear thinking and truths, um, sharpness, kind of cutting edge. And then we have the High Priestess, which is the lady who holds the information, the lady who holds the secrets, basically the lady who can access the secrets. And so, okay, I feel like we're on the same page here. Definitely feel like we're on the same page here. It's like we're um, getting past the lies or the misinformation or whatever is misconstrued, and we are cutting through to the truth or getting to the heart of the matter. And then we have the High Priestess, who's the lady who has the open book, the book of information here, book of secrets. So, all right. Am I the High Priestess? I don't know. I like to think of myself as the Empress, but regardless, let's stay focused. You know, you got ADHD, girl. So we're gonna see. What was the cause of Eartha Kitt's cancer? It wasn't lifestyle. It might have been genetics, but it wasn't lifestyle. She wasn't a smoker. I don't know if she drank or not, but if she did drink, it wasn't heavy alcohol abuse or... Oh, okay, hold on. Should I put these back in the deck? I don't know. I'll go for it. Oh, we got Two of Swords in reverse. Four of Swords reverse. Page of Swords reverse. What? All this reverse, and then Eight of Wands reverse. This is a lot of swords. See, this right here, the Four of Swords is a card of they say it's a card of like rest and meditation or even contemplation. I think the Four of Cups is also something similar to, like, the Four is generally where you take the time out to find balance and stability, because four is a number of stability, right? I always use the analogy of a table. Like most tables, just the average table has four legs on average, right? And so because most tables are either square or rectangular, and so it's like a card of foundation, like you're setting the table or the foundation. um so we were talking about like foundation, the number four, foundation, and then foundation stability, and then you put that with the swords, which is the card of like mental things. Sometimes it's conflict as well. So it's like you're resting your foundation. This is generally how I look at this card. Or you're getting this rest, but you're kind of forced into it as well. You're forced into this restful or supposedly restful position, or you're forced into this position where you can't really do anything. I always look at the Four of Swords as a sometimes, I won't say always, but sometimes it just kind of puts me in the mind of death. It's like you're forced into this position where you can't really do anything but stand still, right? And the Two of Swords is about, sacrifice and making decisions. And the decisions are usually tough, because the person, the majority of times in these tarot decks that are Rider Waite inspired, the person, usually a lady, that is making these decisions is blindfolded. So she's making this tough tough choices, and it's a tough choice regardless of what position this card is in. Um, two is a card. Two is a number of choices and balance and duality. I don't know. As far as any secret societies and stuff like that, I'll just throw it out there. Um, like what if Eartha had any sort of position in any of those so-called secret societies? Um, I don't think she did, because if she had, then she never would have got blackballed by what's her face? What's her name? Lady Bird Johnson. Because she offended that lady, the first lady, by talking about actual issues that's happening in the world instead of whatever the BS that Lady Bird Johnson was talking about. um, hmm. That might be what that's yeah. So speaking of Lady Bird Johnson and how Eartha Kitt was blackballed because she spoke up about, I can't remember exactly. It was a serious issue that happens in the community. I think it was specifically about black people. Was it the war? Was it Vietnam? I need the Googles. I got to do my Googles anyway. I think whatever it was that she was talking to Lady Bird, First Lady Johnson, Lady Bird Johnson. Um, she So it's like Eartha Kitt said what she said, and she meant what she said, and she don't take it back, even to this day. Even though Eartha Kitt has been gone, dead and gone for the last 17 years, because if I remember correctly, she died in like 2008, right? It was Christmas Day, I remember that much. I feel like I was in college when she passed away, so that would have been like 2008 when she passed. hmm So anyway, yeah, in life, even after she was blackballed for her comments to the first lady, to the president's wife at the time, and even in death, now that she's been dead for almost 2 decades, she's like, I said what I said. Basically, that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Um, it was a choice for her to say what she said, but if it put a damper on her career, which we know this because this is stuff that is written down. You can look it up, and there's books, read books were written about it. Like I said, her daughter published a book a couple of years ago. I listened to it. It was a great read. Um, and she spoke about it herself in numerous interviews over the years. She couldn't get no more work in America for a very long time, which is why she had a sort of a renaissance or a resurgence in the late 80s and all throughout the 90s, because she wasn't able to do any work or really have a career in America for upwards of about 10 years at least. And so this is what this is in reference to. Like, this is all about speech and communication and, like I said, mental stuff. And then the Page of Swords, usually a card of like chitter chatter, rumors, gossip, just kind of young minded, immature speech when it's in reverse, immature actions when it's in reverse. Literally, this old white lady, no offense to old white ladies, but this particular old white lady took offense to Eartha, which slowed things down for her, as evidenced by the Eight of Wands, because the Eight of Wands is the card of making things happen quickly, moving fast, and literally, I think that was a big part of it. So I told myself that I was going to finish reading this book. I never did, because I read one book that's on a similar subject about how the body holds on to trauma, right? There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. It's been on my to read list for a long time. I have the ebook, I have the audiobook, still haven't finished it. Um, I've read other books that talk about the same topic, and um, this is the same conclusion that I came to when I pulled cards. Like I said, I don't remember what cards I pulled last year when I first was approached with this, but I do remember that the conclusion I came to was that it wasn't anything that she could have done physically to avoid the cancer. It was all like stuff that she held on and held on to inside, and so it was like she needed to release that stuff. I don't know if she had a proper outlet. I don't know if she kept a journal or what her prayer life was like. I know that she did explore different spiritual paths or different religious ideologies. That's one thing that her daughter talked about in her book, was that Eartha will often take her to different types of churches and mosques and places, different places of worship, so that she could be exposed to different paths and just be knowledgeable about these things. And if she wanted to choose one of them, she could. So I'm not sure what Eartha was into, but these are things that I mean, career-wise, it definitely bothered her. So mentally and emotionally, it weighed on her heavily. It did some damage to her. Um, oh. Then we got the Emperor, the Queen of Cups. I don't know what her sign was. The Emperor, which I find it funny, in this deck, the Emperor has a child sitting on his lap. I don't think I've ever noticed that on any other deck of cards where the Emperor has the baby. It's funny. Then the Queen of Cups in reverse here comes up next. Then we have the Hierophant in reverse. And then the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is still going in the same direction as what I was talking about as far as her conflict with First Lady Johnson back whenever that happened, whatever year that was. I think it was in the 70s at some point. Then we could we could still go along with that because we have literally like 2 or 3 people here in this spread. There's the Emperor, whoever the Emperor would be. I wonder if this could be her ex-husband. I don't know, because like I said, there's a man with a baby in his lap, and I wonder if this could do with her ex-husband and her daughter. I'm not sure. We're gonna keep talking through it though. The reverse Queen of Cups and the Hierophant. These could definitely represent, if we're still going with the same thinking, the same line of thinking as we're talking about the incident, that luncheon with her and the president, because they wanted her to say something that was like, just real fluffy and cute or whatever, and Eartha was like, no ma'am, we're not gonna, no. And I love Eartha Kitt. Like, I am a huge fan of Eartha Kitt. The things that I have learned about her, nobody's perfect, but I think she was an amazing woman. So she stood 10 toes down or whatever it was that she said. I need to go back and look that up. But I can definitely see the Hierophant, the reverse Hierophant, and the reverse Queen. It's kind of like villains in her story. That they created this blockage. She was a creative woman. I mean, she was an artist, a performer. And so, like, these people literally created this blockage in her life. They slowed down things. But also, I feel like this emperor could be her husband. Especially like I said, the way this is depicted, her husband and child. Um, According to Kitt Shapiro, that's Eartha's daughter. According to her book, Eartha raised her on her own for the most part. Like Eartha did, 95% of the work, and she would often have to, or felt the need that to, get the courts involved and put the ex husband on child support. She cussed and screamed and yelled at that man, trying to get him to cooperate and participate in their daughter's life, and so I think that also shaped how she moved after this particular incident, because everything everything is reversed in this deck, except in this spread, except for the Emperor card. I don't know, I could almost see the Emperor being her. It's also funny, I just thought about it. Wasn't she she was that was the Emperor's New Groove, right? The Disney movie, the animated Disney movie that came out in the late 90s. And she voiced the villain character. Was that Yzma? I forgot her name. Anyway, I just thought about that looking at this Emperor card. For all I know, this Emperor could be her. Because there was kind of I guess, a little bit of a masculine element to Eartha Kitt, and now I'm not calling her a man, but saying masculine is in like she's very, very strong, very strong present, strong woman, strong little woman too. She wasn't very big at all, and how she embraced single motherhood, not just single motherhood, but she always kind of stood her ground, um, of being this kind of, I don't know if anybody would describe her as being domineering or not. That's kind of what I'm feeling a little bit, especially looking at this Emperor card some more. Um, and see, what's coming to mind is this interview that she did. Is a clip that goes viral every so often from this interview she did, where somebody had asked her, that the interviewer had asked her if she would ever compromise with a potential mate. And what did she say? She said compromise. And she just bust out laughing. I was like, oh, compromise. So a man comes into my life and I'm supposed to compromise? Something like that, she said. And, a lot of folks, you could take that a couple of different ways, but I don't think she really cared how you took it. That's just how she felt. Like, compromise me? Like, why I gotta compromise? And so, I'm saying that because the Emperor is often somebody who's very uncompromising, and so, because he's very, like I said, he's very dominant. He's the father, the strong father, male leader type, right? So, for this card to be the only one that was upright in the whole spread, um, that's funny. That's funny. So, I mean, hell, this might be her. If it comes up again, then I'll know. And see, on the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, which could also be her. I'm going to have to look up her sun sign, because I don't know. I guess I can do that right now. But yeah, I'm feeling like the Emperor might be her. We're going to see if it comes up again. We'll know. So that's a huge aspect of it. Whatever stress, and I imagine it was a lot, but whatever stress that caused her to go through, to lose her career and be blackballed. I mean, I'm sure she still performed. I don't know what she did for all those years. That she was basically exiled to Europe. She still did what she had to do. I mean, but it just wasn't the same because, let's go back. That was a really good book, in my opinion, that her daughter wrote. So I highly recommend that book. I don't think I have a particular question here. I think I'm still just trying to go with the energy what we got. Uh, we got the Emperor again. Look at that. Look at that. And this time we got the Six of Wands. So yeah, the Emperor is definitely Eartha Kitt. You are funny. You are funny. And you definitely mean what you say. If you say you want somebody who say what they mean and mean what they say, that is Miss Eartha Kitt. That is Eartha Kitt. I don't know. Eartha May Kitt, I think that's her name. I'm just gonna look up her. I'm gonna pull up a January 17th. What is that? I don't know. Is that a Capricorn? I think that's a Capricorn, which is an Earth sign. I don't know what the king. I don't know what the emperor represents. Eartha May, yeah, Eartha May Kitt, Eartha May Keith. And then the world. But yeah, she's definitely say what she means what she says. I love her. I love her. And she would be 98 years old right now. She died December 25th, 2008. Six of Pentacles. Upright. We got the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry. We got Strength in reverse. Then we got the Three of Cups. And then we got the Hierophant again. So, the way my cards are, what's this? Then we got the Hangman at the bottom. The way this is looking to me, so in this spread here, I see the Emperor that's sitting on top of the Seven of Pentacles or Seven of Coins. Seven of Coins is, you know, tending to your work and just kind of waiting. Just kind of waiting on your seeds to bloom, I guess. Waiting for what you trying to sow. You know, patience. That's the word I'm looking for. Patience. This is a time when she is trying to exercise patience. Also here, what comes next to the Emperor is the reverse Six of Wands. This is usually a card of victory, because the Five of Wands is a card of like battles, like you won the battle, but you still have to continue fighting the war, but she's victorious after the battle. But here we're not victorious. This is the card where, like, okay, we are not where we're supposed to be or not where we want to be. To have the world, or to come to this place of completion, where we want what I said earlier, when I said that she came through to ask me to help her come back, basically, not to reincarnate in my life, but you know, I'm just saying to like, if she does make a comeback, or she comes to inhabit a new body, I don't know how to say it, but but she don't feel like she did all that she could have done in this world. Oh, this is bringing me. So what I was saying earlier about how not everybody comes back, one thing that I feel like a lot of so-called spiritualists say and peddle to people, anybody who's willing to listen, because they're trying to find meaning in whatever, is, you know, the universe is experiencing itself on earth, right? Which is us. We all are pieces of God, and we are experiencing our creation, and that we choose our lives before we come here. We have soul contracts and whatever, right? I won't say that I believe, and I have been told, through my spiritual sessions, that that is untrue. We don't pick our parents. We don't pick the circumstances that we are born into. We don't pick our lessons that we want to learn. None of that. There are some things that we might ask for, just like, I guess whenever we have our one-on-one time with God. I don't know. But it's not like this contract, like, oh, we pick all these little details in our lives because we have this lesson to learn. No, and I feel like it's bullshit, and that it's very dismissive, because there's a lot of things that people go through all over this planet, and I'm like, there's no way that you can make me believe that they asked for that before they were born. Jeez. but we're all created with different personalities, and also, like, Earth is cool and everything. I mean, no disrespect to Earth, to Mother Earth, but there, if our universe is as grand as people with telescopes say that it is, and there are in billions, if not trillions, of other galaxies and planets in the universe, like, Earth is not even a speck in all of that. And so, there are so many other places for the spirit to go than just here. So it's like, if you want to come back here, there's you. If you choose to come back here, that's something that you and God worked out. But it's not like a concrete thing. Like, I remember having this conversation while I was sitting up, just praying and meditating and everything. Like, okay, what if I decide I want to come back here? And I was like, well, you ain't got to come back, but it's like, it's up to you, but it's up to you, but it's not. Like, if you want to come back here, cool, but whatever is here, then you got to just deal with what's here, basically. It's not like I chose these different things. It's like, okay, I may make decisions in my previous existence that shaped how my life today is, but it wasn't like I went down a sheet and checked off these boxes to say this, I want my mother to be who she was. I want to go through a miscarriage because I want to know what that feels like, so I can do, like, for what? I don't know that. And so this lesson that she's trying to learn is not like, she's asking for help to understand it. That's not something that, like, it's not a pop quiz. It's not. I don't know. It just grinds my gears. It really does. It annoys me whenever I hear people say that, or I see that message is spreading. And I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not part of my calling to shout from the rooftops and preach to everybody. Like, no, that's not what it is. I can't even share everything that's been revealed to me, or things that I have had revelations about, because it's like, it's not for everybody to know, because everybody's not going to get it anyway. Anyway, back to the cards. I'm sorry, I just went off on a little tangent there. But Eartha is making this trip back to this world, and Oh, that's the other part I was gonna say. You know how some people come, they just kind of come into the world. They just seem wise beyond their years, like how we say, "Oh, that baby been here before." This is kind of what Eartha's next existence is gonna be like. It's like she's just gonna be one of those people who just seems like, she just got all the answers. And let's ask Eartha. She probably knows, or whatever her name is gonna be when she come back. Like let's ask her. She knows. And see, she's ready to begin this process now because she's not in a position where she's as worried or concerned about her daughter anymore because her daughter is in her 60s, I think. Well, she gotta be in her 60s now. And whereas when Eartha left here, she hung around a lot. She stayed close. So she hung around a lot. I don't know if her daughter experienced any sort of weird happenings. I don't know because some people will report like maybe they say after their loved one passed away, maybe something moved that normally wouldn't move, or they lost something that normally wouldn't be lost, or the lights flickered or whatever. I don't know if she had what her stories are or were as far as that's concerned, but Eartha was around her quite a bit. Eartha was very, very attached to her daughter. She loved her daughter dearly. And she didn't want to leave. She didn't want to cross over. She fought that. That's something that her daughter said in the book, that Eartha literally went out screaming. Like, as she was going through the process of dying, that she let out this scream until I guess she just finally ran out of steam and she just let go. And so I think that's probably part of, that fire that is in her. And maybe that's still, representing the emperor energy, that fire that's in her that has her wanting to come back. Like, no, I was not ready. Um, and especially not like that. Not the damn cancer, you know? No. Especially not the cancer. Because it had her in a position where she felt very weak and vulnerable. Where we got the strength card right here in reverse, and then we have the six of wands in reverse. Like, no, she felt she ain't like that helpless, that helpless prat. That's not. Because Eartha Kitt was a woman who got things done, and she took care of business, and she made it happen. You weren't gonna walk all over her. You wasn't gonna do, like, no, no. So I keep I'm sorry, I keep, but there's literally what I'm feeling like. She's like, no, no, I'm not feeling. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, I'm sorry. I'm looking here. Like, I'm looking at the first paragraph on her Wikipedia page, and I'm seeing that she died on December 25th, right, Christmas Day, and probably her most famous song, or one of her most famous songs, was a Christmas song, Santa Baby. And so there's a little bit of irony in that. I don't know if there's something to that, but oh, I'm going to explore that. Anyway, so yeah, she's ready to come back, but in order for her to feel complete in this life, she needs to know. She needs to know what it was that she could have done differently, or if there was anything that she could have done differently to make this happen. She's also saying there was somebody who was celebrating her weakness, I'm not saying like Illuminati type situation, but somebody important though was celebrating her downfall. I don't know who that would be. Um, it was somebody important to her, somebody who would have or should have been important to her. That's who she saw when she went out screaming. That's who she saw. She saw somebody that she didn't want to see. So her letting out that scream, and then it's not an old, she went to a bad place. It's like no, it's a lot of unhealed stuff, like heart chakra stuff. Um, it's emotional for sure. Like that, her illness. If we're looking at it from a spiritual perspective, now I'm not a doctor. I'm not, and again, allegedly this is Eartha Kitt, you know, and I'm just looking at cards, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, speculating over cards. But her cancer was a result of her stuff. Her she made it to 80, and the reason why she made it that long is because she was healthy. She was physically healthy, but it was emotional and spiritual, and it manifested itself in her body. So she had healthier coping mechanisms, then maybe things would have turned out differently. But which is crazy because, like, according to Eartha's daughter, according to what she said in the book, Eartha had all the hobbies. Like, she would sew or do what you call it, cross stitching, and she sang in multiple languages, and she had a garden, and she was into exercise, and so she's very active woman. She kept her hands and her mind busy. She kept her body busy and strong, and she was well traveled and well spoken, and she was physically attractive. And should I use this card? Yes. No. Yes. It's the world upside down. It's like, yeah, it's just incomplete. Um, and she had all the things that you would think she'd need to be happy, but she a certain stubbornness that comes with the emperor. It was baby Eartha who was hurt and sad, and you got two major arcana cards, Temperance and the Hermit. So she thought she was finding balance by being alone, but that really wasn't the answer. Um, Queen of Cups. So when she's upright, when Queen of Cups is upright, this is a woman who is in touch with her emotions in a healthy way. She thought that she was dealing with her emotions in a healthy way, but she really wasn't. Like, she was just kind of isolating herself. Um, hmm, with the King of Pentacles. Um, so she was a master over material things, or like the things that she could touch, that she could physically touch and put her hands on. She was masterful at those things. But yeah, just matters of the heart, man. That's what it is. Like, that's what it's coming down to. We got the Seven of Swords again in reverse. Um, this time we got the Eight of Wands again, but it's upright. We got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, go back. And then we got the World again. That World keeps coming up. That World keeps reappearing. It was a lot. I mean, I can also see, like, just a path of like wanting to, like, this is what she wanted to have, but what ended up happening was this right here. Like, she wanted to have the balance, and but instead she got this sense of incompletion and like not feeling whole or good, or you know. Now it's the Tower in reverse, at the bottom of the deck. So I got the Five of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Knight of Swords upright. Yeah. So she did everything she could do physically to stay healthy. But it wasn't an issue of physical stuff. It wasn't physical. So we made this for almost an hour now. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Just a few more cards. So Empress reversed. I find it funny that this card shows up in reverse after I just called her the Emperor. And again, see, the Empress is pregnant. The Emperor is holding the child in his lap. And but like, there's a need for like there's just a softness that she just didn't have. Like, I'll dare I say callous. Um, I'm not saying she was mean. She just, was kind of cold. or could be anyway. Super protective over her daughter, and that's what mattered to her, and that's it. But you know, and she probably could come across as being a mean old lady, but there's like a coldness or something about her. It's like a lack of femininity, like, and it's crazy to say this about Eartha Kitt because if you've ever seen her, if you know anything about her, she was the sex kitten, right? Especially back in like the '60s when she was Catwoman. But Eartha, it was all a show, right? That was her job, As soon as she got off stage or as soon as she got off the camera, her wig and eyelashes and makeup would come off, and either she said it or maybe it was her daughter who said it that people wouldn't even recognize her when she was when she wasn't in costume, when she wasn't Eartha, Miss Sexy Lady, Sex Kitten Kitt, you know because she going wouldn't even look the same. She took all this stuff off because that wasn't her. That was literally just a character that she played, and she played it well. Um, so here we got the Page of Cups. This is like lack of emotion, the strength. She's so it's like this facade of femininity. It's like she really was this emperor type, but like there was a that lack of softness was actually quite the weakness for her. Yeah. Four of Wands. When I was talking about the number four being a foundation, it's like an established. Um, Ace of Cups. Her cups. Her cards. Ace of Cups, Five of Wands, the Tower. Um, okay, because this is taking me through her marriage. I don't remember what all her daughter said happened in the marriage. I just know it didn't last very long, and it did not end on good terms. Um, there was a lot of fighting in the marriage. And the fact that Eartha Kitt was Eartha Kitt, I think that also played a role in that marriage not lasting. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rush you. I don't mean to rush you. I don't. I just, I'm trying not to carry on too much longer. It's just we've been at this for a while. Um, I mean, 80 years is a long time to cover. It's a long time to cover. I'm gonna pull out this oracle deck. Oh gosh, the yin yang deck. I don't know how long that bright light been like that, but oof. Okay. So I'm sorry, y'all, if you couldn't see that the video. Let's just give it a few more cards because we are at the 59-minute mark now. We can come back and do some more later. Yeah, soul ties, reunion, ace of fire, passion, fulfillment, wish. Miss Lady, this gonna have to be a 2 or 3 part session. The sun, strength. The strength card keeps coming up. Family, foundation. The world keeps coming up. Moon, intuition. And then stability, flow. And then at the bottom of the deck is union, soulmate energy. So I just said, yeah, we were just talking about her marriage and everything. So it's funny how we got reunion, talking about soulmates and marriages and stuff like that. We got family that comes up, right? And then we got union. So I don't know if this is specifically about the marriage. Well, it includes the marriage. It's not just. It's not only the marriage. It includes the marriage. This is also. Um, I'm sorry. I just thought I heard a footstep. There's nobody here but me. um, yeah. It's not only about her husband. There are, in terms of romantic relationships, we're not just talking about her husband or her ex-husband. I'm sorry, her ex-husband. This is about all of them, all the men that she's had in her life that she thought maybe she had a chance with her, or she thought that maybe they would actually be nice to her. Hmm. Lord, I mean, we got 80 years worth of life to cover right here, so this we'll have to come back and do this again. I should have started earlier in the day. Or maybe we'll come back later tonight and finish off where we were. But um okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll come back. We'll come back and check. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. So just as we get into the heart just as we get into the heart of the matter. That's what I keep I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, the next cards are twin flame. This is about her love life. Closed off and structure. This is all about relationships. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, I thought we were gonna be able to get through it. I mean, she's not mad. I'm not getting mad energy or whatever. I'm just like me. I'm not. It's not gonna be another year and a half before I come back. I promise. I promise. So yeah, that's part one of Eartha Kitt. So I thank you, Eartha. Let's see. Okay, be still. All right, thank you, Eartha, for entertaining me today and letting me speak and let me read your cards. I will be back. I promise. All right. All right. Bye.